Now bring your feet together, butterfly pose. So you're sitting up on your cushion and your feet touch, and then lightly bounce, rocking your hips. Draw the shoulders back, the belly button forward. The bouncing and rocking is not forceful, it's relaxing. There's a particular style of stretching called ballistic stretching, where you bounce really hard into the stretch, and that's been kind of thrown out. Most people don't recommend that, and I don't either. But this isn't ballistic stretching. You're not really loading the muscles as you're doing this. Ballistic stretching is under a loaded muscle, and then you bounce into it. It's easy to tear the muscle. This should feel unloaded and relaxed, and it's just like a spring. It's a relaxing bounce. All right. Just like chewing on bubble gum, softening, opening, warming it up. And then inhale, draw your belly button forward, expand, extend your spine, and then fold your chest forward and down. Breathing out. There's no need to force your head down. It's really about elongating your spine up and out rather than down and in. So if you try to just force your head down, you're not really getting any extra benefit. Elongate your spine up and out. This is where you can even use your staff in your hands, and you can create that feeling of elongation by holding it really low and then like tilting forward or leaning into it. You get that elongation feeling in your cobbler's pose. Nice. Now a few more floor poses. We're going to do some kneeling exercises. So if this is hard on your knees, use a blanket or cushion, and I'll show you a few variations on a chair in case you don't want to kneel on the floor. And for this one, you can use your shorter staff. Any size really should work for this. Sometimes the shorter ones are nice. You don't bump into stuff as much. You're going to come to kneeling, and you're going to bring your staff to your sacrum. It's very much like the standing version, the standing back bend that we did. This is called Camel Pose. But you're going to bring your staff to the sacrum rather than the upper back. You're going to draw your shoulders back. The key here is not to force your hips forward. That's going to put the bend in your low back. Your hips stay right over your knees. And then you just peel the shoulders back and elongate your spine as you lean backwards. And the staff gives you this nice support where you can control the descent. Okay, you can control the back bend. Okay, my chair's been taken, so let me show you a different version here. So if you're doing this instead of kneeling on the floor, if you want to do it seated, it's really similar. Sometimes it's nice on the chair because your hips aren't going to shift at all. And you can just do the same thing. Careful not to hyperextend your neck back too far either. Your neck should be nice and neutral, comfortable. This is one you can go in and out several times as you warm up. Excellent. Now another floor stretch. You're going to take your left leg forward into a low lunge. If your knee bothers you, just kneel on a cushion or on a folded blanket. Your staff is in your opposite hand here. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. If you're on a chair, you just bring one leg behind you. Anytime you want to do a lunge in a chair, you just sit and you bring one leg back. Same thing. Now the staff will come in here. You can get a nice stretch along your back and arms by taking the staff in front of you. The short ones are nice because you can just press it on the top, and then you're gonna lean forward. And it's kind of like a hanging motion. It's like almost like you're hanging on a bar. If the staff is longer, you can just do it with a light grip. The free hand can lean on your thigh to adjust pressure. You want to avoid overstretching your shoulder. If your hand is too high, you'll create a lot of pressure on the shoulder. You may want to lower it down in that case and just lean more forward. Feel the difference? Nicely done. When you're ready, then switch other side. So switch your knees, feet, and hands. Low lunge, Anjaneyasana. And then you can elongate your free hand, the opposite hand of your front leg, holding the staff, and stretch your lats and obliques. Another version is to have just two hands on the staff, and you can have a similar feeling. So play around with that. Very nice. Return. And come back to kneeling. Okay, and I've got a bonus stretch for you. And this is a little bit more of a therapeutic application. Although if you have pain kneeling, this will not feel therapeutic. This will be torture. So only do this if you can kneel comfortably. And I'll show you a variation seated in a moment. So if you can kneel comfortably, and that might require a folded blanket to cushion your knees, we're gonna use the staff to massage your calves and hamstrings. So what you do is you place it behind your knees in the crook of your knee, and in the armpit of your knee. And then you will basically just sit back like into a child's pose. Your hands can help you adjust the pressure because this will be kind of intense, and it's a deep massage into your calf and your hamstring, right? And then you just milk the calves. So you just roll it an inch, go down a little, find those knots, go down a little, and just work your way down like that. Seated version, it's not going to be as intense because you don't have your body weight on it. But you just sit on the chair, take your staff, and then you just use your hands and you press in and you massage and roll. Okay, so try that if the kneeling version doesn't work well for you. Just press in. Okay, if you're kneeling, then you just keep working your way down. If you find a real zinger, just stay with it, breathe, release the muscle adhesions. You can go all the way down to the Achilles tendons. All right, so if you're a runner, a biker, if you get tight calves, this is really delightful and also probably excruciating. So probably good for you. If it hurts a lot, it means it's really tight. So don't put your whole weight onto it, but ease into it. So this alone, some people said, is worth the price of the staff. If you're a runner or biker, just being able to massage out those muscles there, so good. Now, we're gonna stay on the floor a little longer. And you're not going to need any props for this one, except something to sit up on. So a folded blanket or a cushion. Go ahead and sit up tall. And you're going to bend your right knee in and swing your left leg all the way out, as far as it goes comfortably into a half split. The tendency is when you're sitting here is to kind of round the lower back and hunch. So your practice is to elongate your spine and to tilt the pelvis forward. That's the other nice thing about these rounded pillows is you can kind of rock your pelvis. You can tilt it better. Feel these inner thighs here. Okay. Once you're in position, then you can fold toward your extended toes. If you can reach the toes, you can grab a hold. The pant cuffs work too. A strap actually is a nice prop here. If you have a hard time reaching, use a strap or a belt to pull in and to just secure that. And you got to be patient. This is usually a very tight area. Your chest opens up. Breathing into your sides, inner thighs. You don't have to lock your knees. They can be slightly bent. And if you want to add one more element, your hand can go up and over. Your breath is smooth and steady. Now release that top hand. Now here's an optional add-on pose. You plant the hand next to your hips, and then you plant that foot down and you go up on your knee into a seated floor side angle pose. Okay, that just requires comfort in your knees though. Come back, grab the knee, flip, switch, other side, extend your leg. Draw that heel in close, your pelvis moves forward, and I promise you this will get more comfortable as you do it more often. This is one of the most awkward feeling poses when you first start. You feel all crunched up. Little by little, hips open and chest opens, sliding in. Breathing smoothly. If you want to add your hand, let it rise and elongate over. Especially in these intense stretches, a little smile goes a long way. You can practice your Brahmari, your buzzing bee breath, a little humming. Can also reduce the painful sensations. Take your mind inward. When you're ready, release your hand. Sitting back up. Optional counter pose. Plant the hand in line with your hips. Turn the toes forward, plant your foot. Put all your weight on your foot and hand and knee and reach into floor side angle pose. And have a seat back down.